From the ashes of the old world, in the shadows of the last great war, the world was shattered by magic. Plains became deserts, mountains crumbled into the sea. Witches and heretics are burned in the street, lined with oathbreakers hung by their necks. Where once was law, order, empire, now only hardship and savagery remain. To the east, in Highport, a weary king rules an ungrateful people. To the west, his brother keeps swords sheathed and words of rebellion at bay. To the north and south, savage elves and cowardly dwarves openly practice arcane arts, shrouded by leaf and stone. In a time when a man's worth is measured by his word, when might makes right, and a quick death is a mercy, only those more foolish than brave venture far from home. The age of peace and prosperity has ended. In its place, only strife.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Age of Strife, Season 2, Episode 2, but Gameplay Episode 1. I know that's a mouthful, so why don't we just call it Age of Strife? How are you guys doing today?
Very good. Thanks.
Good. So, we're back. We're starting all over again. We've got our new characters. Let's take a moment to review them and introduce them. Who wants to start introducing their character?
I'll go first.
All right. Who are you playing?
I am playing Marcella Ginger Thorne. She is a human fighter. She stands at 6 foot tall. She is 195 pounds. She has long, light brown, curly hair that she keeps tied back neatly, usually when she's in the city, neat enough to look like a noble person. Her eyes are emerald green, and she wears usually a red jacket over some sort of plain black tunic and a pair of black pants.
Mm-hmm.
24 and right-handed.
Right, and she uses a spear.
She is a spear specialist. She has a combination of different spears. She's got usual short spear, the javelins for throwing, and she keeps a long spear at home where she spars with her brothers.
Right.
She also carries a big aspis. She is also very skilled with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
She, growing up with dyslexia, never learned to read and write, but after sparring and dealing lots of wounds and dealing with wounds, she learned how to do a bit of healing, and her parents saw that she had a bit of skill with that, so she had her properly trained in the ways of healing.
Fantastic. Why don't we move on to Bradley?
So Autumn is Marcella Ginger Thorne. She has this long, epic name. I'm just Tybarodite. I truly have no last name at all.
Why don't you have a last name?
While the rest of our party was born into a noble family, my character was not so privileged. He had a rough childhood as he spent his time as a goblin slave. He eventually broke free of his bonds, and as he was running through the wilds to escape his slavers, he ran into a knight, Kel William Thorne. Kel William Thorne took him in and raised this former slave as a son of his own. Tybarodite is skilled with an arming sword, skilled with a shield. It's quite the warrior. Doesn't know how to read or write or any of those things that your typical nobles do. But he does speak the language of goblins, and he is a pretty swell blacksmither. And in his time of being a slave, he was tortured, so he has picked up the ways of torturing. So it'll be interesting and fun to play.
You have a lot of twisted characters that you play.
I know, right? It makes things interesting.
Let's move on to our next player, Jeff.
What are you getting at, Neil?
Nothing. I'm certainly not getting at anything with you.
Let's go on.
I was still reading my character sheet to remind me who Stefan is, or Stefan. Let's see. So he's 5'6", 180 pounds. So he's pretty rakish, roguish. He's pretty whimsical. He doesn't think beyond next conquest. So he's a bit of a swashbuckling womanizer at the age of 18. I think his hormones have kicked in. He's a short sword specialist. He also dual wields. He's ambidextrous, and he's good at dancing and good at wooing the ladies with the etiquette.
Very nice. Leaving us with Patrick, who is playing the heir to the family.
Luther Thorne, the heir. He has salt and pepper hair, very short and elegant, emerald green eyes. He has 7 hotness though, so I had to add in some aging, like a crooked nose, crow's feet, weathered skin. But he does stay clean shaven. And he has 17 intelligence, so he's very smart. Everything else just kind of above average. And he's a very politically minded guy, and he cares a lot about appearances, and he really just cares about his well-being and the well-being of his family and nothing else really. And he's also very fashionable. He always keeps up with the fashion. He uses the socialites to help him out. He's a big fan of black, white, and gray. He has all kinds of different clothes. He has noble clothes, common clothes, a black robe, a wool cloak, a 50 gold gray fur cloak. And some more additions probably coming at some point.
Fantastic.
He's very learned. He's got herbalism, animal lore, for toxicology, reading and writing, etiquette, acting, and disguise, because he is a thief.
And the family includes an engineer, a retired officer, and an ancient historian. The current head of the family, the player's father, William Thorne, is a retired officer. William's brother, Joseph, is an ancient historian, and Joseph's son, so the player's cousin, is Maximilian, the engineer. There's also Maximilian's wife, Sarah, William's wife, Mary, Luther's wife, Clara, and Maximilian and Sarah have a son named Marcus. The family's not super big. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people total. With 4 player characters, 3 useful people, and 3 socialites and a 3-year-old infant, which I'm sure you guys will find some twisted purpose for down the road. Okay, so let's kick it off. William is the head of the household and the breadwinner, and typically goes out and acquires the wealth that your family needs to survive. However, today is a different day. You guys are all hanging around the house when a town guard comes running and kicks open your gate, runs to your door, and starts pounding on it, calling for the family. You guys answer the door, and the town guard kind of points down to the walkway to the front gate, where you guys see William being brought in on a stretcher between 2 other guards.
I look to Luther.
Yeah, I look to Luther.
I immediately rush over to the stretcher.
I'll rush over to the stretcher and say, "What's happened?"
The guard that had knocked on the door goes, "Your father was beaten in the streets, and he's raving. He's raving that he can't see anything. But there were some witnesses, but some of our men are chasing down the attackers, but it all happened so fast, just outside of the gate, or inside of the gate. You know that little alleyway between here and the wall?" he says. Which,
Yeah.
of course,
Yes, we know.
you guys would know to mean this little alleyway right here on the map. Yeah, he came in all smiles and, you know, big bright teeth and everything, and started walking back this way, and then there were some shouts, and we saw some movement, a flurry of activity, and then they were gone. My men chased after him. Well, one of my men chased after him. The others grabbed him, and we came back here. I have to go. The wall's unmanned right now. I have to go back, but I'm sure these guards can help you with any questions you may have. And he takes off back towards the wall.
How
I
long
look to
ago?
Luther. Should we go and run them down right now? If they're in the middle of chasing them, should we try and catch them?
Luther kind of grabs out, reaching out wild until he finds your jacket and kind of pulls you closer to him and says, "Man, Bluebeard, he did something. Magic. It must be some sort of witch or warlock or something. One moment I could see, in the next, darkness everywhere. Sorcerer."
How long ago did this occur?
Seconds, minutes, just moments ago.
Come on, let's go, guys. I
I'm
grab
gonna
my
go
sword.
pick
Or my
up
sword.
my spear, the long spear I keep in the house.
Okay, now, just so you know, this long spear is like 10 feet long. It's really good if someone's super far away from you, but you can't use it indoors, and if they get past the end of the spear, it's totally useless.
You know what? That's a good point. I'll pick up a short spear.
Yeah, that's fine. Like a long spear would be great in an alleyway because there's no way to get around it. But inside, it's a completely useless weapon. Just as a heads up.
I'm assuming that I'm not armored right now, so we'll just pick up the spear and I'll ask, which way is it?
One of
I'll ask
the
nearby guard if they're around.
one of the guards that's carrying William, I guess it's not really a stretcher. It's kind of just whatever boards that were lying around that they placed him on. So it's kind of like 2 sets of 2x4s that they're holding. They've set him down on the ground, and one of the guards goes to show you the way. The rest of you did any of you guys have cause to be armed and armored?
No, I would have had to grab my short swords as well, probably from the training room, and yeah.
I grab my weapons, my shield, and run too. I suggest that instead of following the roads, since the walls around the noble houses are low, we hop walls and make like a straight line towards a further part of the alley.
All right,
I think I constantly carry a couple daggers on me,
that's fair.
so I'm just gonna run off immediately.
All right, so we have the map up. Show me where you're going. Someone make a doodle.
Going.
Have we been shown where they were heading or where they were last seen?
The guards have given you a verbal description of the place, and since you all grew up here or spent most of your lives here, you are familiar with the alleyway that the altercation took place in, and they did explain that the men went down the alleyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a run through there.
All right, so you're gonna go by the streets. Tiberodite, you said you were gonna hop some walls. Tiberodite? Oh, I think. Tiber?
I follow along behind Amy. Or not Amy, I'm Ginger, I'm sorry.
That'll be fun. Okay. Is that everyone? Everyone's going that way?
I think I'm gonna go in a different direction.
Which
Yeah,
way
I'm
are
gonna
you
go
going?
with-
What is it that's behind the Lorwyn estate? Can I get into the yard freely and go around behind it?
So it's a wall. You can't just. I'm sure you can open the gate and walk into the estate without any problem. That is the Countess's estate. So sure, you can get in. It might be a little weird if you're running around in their backyard without permission, but it's certainly possible.
It's an emergency, so I can get in without like having to explain myself, or
Yeah.
if they're gonna hold me up, then I'll go different.
No, they won't. They won't hold you up. You can get in without having to explain yourself.
So I go through, up, and I climb that wall. If that's the wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
All right, so 2 of you go the street way, 2 of you go the back way.
Yeah.
All right, can I get a strength check from everyone in the party?
Okay.
What's the strength check for?
Just to see if you are fleet of foot.
Okay.
13.
So you're kind of, you're all sprinting. This is an attack on the family.
Okay.
I'm really nervous about making this check now. I don't know if I can pass it.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh my God, are you serious?
The dice do not like sarcasm.
Try to keep up.
I'm a 30-year-old.
33, 30, 20, and Stefan, would you roll?
19.
Oh, a 19, okay. So,
Yeah.
Stefan
I
and
remember.
Tiberodite start to slip behind a little bit, but Ginger and Luther are on top of their things. Ginger hops the wall. I'm
not
sorry,
hopping the
Luther
wall.
hops the wall. Ginger bolts down the street and then down the alleyway. Let's see, who's going down the street? It was Ginger and Tiberodite are going down the street.
Yeah.
So you guys come down to that little corner, and you see a bunch of people standing around talking about what's going on. There is a blood stain on the street, and peasants, talking about things and then shutting up as they see you guys arrive, and everyone turns and stares at you like, oh, you're here. What do you do in response to everyone stopping and staring?
In the street, I'm going to run up to a nearby person, just like grab them by the collar, and be like, where did people go?
That way.
I'm going to continue my sprint the way they pointed, which I think will leave me getting to this area.
Yeah. Okay. Let's flip back to the other side. So, Luther, you hop the wall, or you and Stefan make it through the Lorwyn estate. You go over to the back wall. It's got all these big plants around it, and the wall's maybe like 7 or 8 feet high. But you made a 30-something on your strength check, so it's not an issue for you to quickly scramble up the wall and climb over. Stefan, you're hot on his heels, having a little trouble with the wall when you hear shouts coming from the back of the Lorwyn estate. You see the back door open up, and what looks to be maybe one of the people who permanently resides here, one of the like sub-cousins or nephews of the Countess, coming out, in pants with no shirt and a short sword in its sheath, but not on a belt or anything, running in your direction, going, "Hey, who the hell are you? Where the hell do you think you're doing here?"
They don't know who we
what's
are.
his name?
Excuse me, I missed that.
What's his name?
His name is Bryant.
Has he recognized us, or is he just a general cry?
He doesn't seem to recognize you guys right now. He just sees someone running through his yard, and so he's got his pants on and just running out with his sword.
Okay, I'm gonna wave at Brian and say, Brian, gotta go. Thank you. We'll see you at lunch next to tomorrow. And I'm gonna try and climb the wall.
All right, Luther, you hop the wall and you come to the end of that alleyway. Oh, the middle of that alleyway section.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Both ways.
You definitely see some people standing around, kind of muttering to themselves, but they stop and start looking at you as you climb over the wall from the Countess's estate. Clearly something that no one is supposed to be doing. So very unusual.
I just shout, "Where did they go?"
That way. What's going on? Says one of the merchants.
I just run off the way he pointed.
All right, let's flip back to the other side. Ginger, you're at the intersection. Tiberodite's coming up behind you.
Yeah, I stop at the intersection. Take a look right. Take a look left. Which way looks more busier? More people around?
The left path leads to the main road through town, so that's definitely the more busy section. The right path leads down past the inn and the stables, and is not super busy right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the left after a quick glance either way, and run up to a nearby person and say, "Did you see any criminals or bluebeards or anything going on. Bandits, muggers.
Did you
What?
see any bluebeards?
Excuse me, milady. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna just.
Would you like to buy this chicken? I can give you a great deal, 2 copper for this chicken. She'll lay eggs for at least another 6 years.
Turn back and wait for Tibaradite to appear.
He's coming up right behind you. He's been fumbling with his belt or something. He's normally the fastest one in the family, but he's not having a good day today. Maybe his sandals are coming off.
I'm gonna call him over and say, "Come on, keep up."
You're muted, Tibaradite. All right. So
I just keep running. Sorry about that.
sure.
Okay.
Luther, you're over the wall. You're down the alley. You're ahead of everyone else right now. You come to the intersection near the luxuries market.
Okay. I look both ways again.
It looks pretty still. Well, I shouldn't say still. It looks pretty normal. People are kind of moving around as they typically do.
And I don't see anyone running or standing with their mouths agape.
No.
Okay, which way do I go? Alright, I'm gonna go over that way and down into this alley.
All right. So you head that way. Stefan hops over the wall as Ginger and Tibarodite catch up at this little intersection here, or this corner. Luther's gone down the road, but the 3 of you have gathered here at this point.
All right.
Maybe some of us should head to the central market in case they try to dip into the market to hide in with everybody.
I'll follow Luther, and I run off.
Okay. You go to chase down Luther. Tibarodite's going to the central market. Ginger, where are you going?
I'm going to follow towards the central market. I'm going to keep my eye out for other town guards who look like they're busy searching.
Right. The town guard is wildly understaffed. There are 12 of them total, not including the sheriff. And a few of them have a night shift, so they're not all out during the day. So where are you going to find one of these watchmen?
Let's see. I guess I'm going to run towards the central market and take this direction. No, not that way. This way, and go around the town hall and just generally sprint around there, keeping an eye out for any other suspicious-looking people and any town guard who are standing around.
Fantastic. Can I get perception checks from the whole party, please?
What is my perception?
Nice.
Barely.
Ooh.
Almost nice, and beautiful. All right.
That's 2 20s in a
Twice in a
row.
row. I'm doomed. I'm doomed.
Yeah. Might as well re-roll a character. Okay. So, Tibarodite, you get to the central market. You start looking around, but it's crowded. Now, this is later in the day.
Okay, as I arrive in the central market, along like where these alleys around these warehouses come out and up through like in here, I want to look around for anybody that looks like they've kind of been stationed there for a while, and ask if they've seen anybody with a blue beard.
Yes, there are a lot of people that have been stationed here for a while. This is the central market, after all. People make their living here. So you talk to one of them. They recognize you for who you are, and kind of give you a nod and goes, Bluebeard? Yeah, there was a group of folks. One of them with the blue beard came running through here a few moments ago.
Which way did he go?
Over the bridge, north side of town.
Okay, I pull out my ram's horn that I have and I start blowing in it to signal the rest of our party.
All right.
These swords are already coming in useful. All right.
Luther and Stefan are going down that alleyway. It's definitely the sort of kind of sketchy alleyway that you would find tucked behind the inn off the main drag. You know, little narrow street with a dirt path and kind of crap lying all over the place. Broken pottery, discarded pieces of metal that are kind of rusting on the side. People that are clearly passed out, drunk, or on some sort of other intoxicant, or just deranged, lying around on the sides. When you hear this horn blowing,
after I blow it, I look to the people I just talked to, and I say, my brothers and sisters are about to run this way. As soon as they do, tell them to go across the bridge, and then I run across the bridge and do the northern market.
All right, you go across the northern market. Ginger, you hear the horn blowing because you're not that far from them. In fact, you can, if it weren't for the crowd, you could see Tiberodite from where you're standing.
Yeah, I hear the horn blowing. I reach and realize I'm not carrying my backpack. I can't play mine, and I sprint towards the sound of the horn.
Okay. All right, so you get to the market moments later. A man standing up from a stalls kind of waves to you and goes, Lady Thorn, that way! The bridge!
Okay, I will give him a nod and a wave as I sprint across and try and make the bridge in record time.
Okay. Luther and Stefan come running down after you guys. You get to the central market too a few minutes later, and again, the same man stands up from his little, I guess he's already standing from his little stall, waving his arms at you and goes, Lord Thorn! The bridge!
What a useful man.
When I run across the bridge, Neil, I immediately look around the area. I doubt I'll see the man with Bluebeard, but I look for him, and if I don't see him immediately, I just begin screaming, making a scene. Man with the blue beard, where did he go? I know he ran across. Where did he go? Tell me now.
Make me a perception check, please.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Wonderful. Another 22. You don't see the man with the blue beard here, but actually make me a charisma check as well. I should let you make those rolls, not myself.
Oh.
People are like, oh, it's that goblin.
You don't have the best reputation in town. You are the ward of a noble family who was held hostage by goblins for a long time.
If nobody answers me, I look to someone that is standing, someone that's stationed right in here in this area. I go up to them, I grab them by their shirt with my 17 strength, and I slam them against the wall. Where did the man with the blue beard go? Tell me now.
Oh my. All right, so while you're shaking this person who's kind of, they're about to wet themselves out of terror, Ginger comes across the bridge and down into the northern market. Ginger, you see Tiberodite lifting a guy off the ground and shoving him against the wall of this building right here in the corner of the market.
Which corner?
This one.
All right.
Oh.
How's this guy?
I'm going to try and make eye contact with Tiberodite.
Oh, no, he's looking at this guy. He's...
Oh, okay, brilliantly. I'm going to run past him and go up to some other person in the crowd and just grab them and say, over there, asking for the blue-bearded person, somewhere around. We saw them. What have you seen?
Give me a charisma check, Autumn.
What is my charisma? It's 11.
Oh, God.
Ooh, look at these rolls.
Yeah.
You were going to die so fast. All right. The person you're talking to is a woman who's selling bread, and she goes, "Oh, why yes, there was a man with a few of his friends that came walking here very recently. They went down that way, just past the Sweetwater. Lovely chap, beautiful beard, forked in 2 different directions."
I'm going to just stop for a while and be like, beautiful beard?
Oh yes, it was quite lovely. You don't often see such coloring these days. I don't know how he does it.
I'm going to just shake my head at her and be like, that's crazy talk, and just run that way.
All right, Stefan and Luther come around the corner as Tiberodite's shaking this guy, who is clearly, like, terrified of Tiberodite and either doesn't know anything or is so caught up in his emotional state of fear that his tongue is tied and he can't say anything.
Do we see Ginger running off?
No, it's a crowded market. But you do see Tiberodite shaking this older gentleman against a wall.
All right, I just yelled, "The Bluebeard, where did he go?"
All right. Between the 3 of you, eventually you guys get the same directions as Ginger and move off in that direction, although you don't know that she is ahead of you. Meanwhile, Ginger, you've come to this intersection. I'm switching maps back and forth. You've come to that intersection.
It's the 4-way intersection, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to stop and take a look around in hopes that there is some people who look like they are avoiding eye contact with me as I just look at everyone around.
No, there's not a lot of people around here. This is kind of just your general intersection, and people are moving through it. There's not a lot of people that are standing around here. You're gonna loiter in the market.
Yeah, so there's no one standing around. I'm gonna just walk to the other side of the intersection and ask nearby moving person, excuse me, there's a man with a forked blue beard, comes out 2 directions. I need to find him.
This side of the intersection? The north side of it?
Yes. The north side.
Okay. And you're asking him what? Like, please rephrase your question.
Yeah, I'm gonna just I'm gonna try and calm myself down and be like, I'm looking for the man with the forked blue beard. Need to find him.
Sorry, miss.
You've never seen it?
Nope, haven't seen one. Kind of doffs his hat to you a little bit and keeps walking.
Well, then I'm gonna stand and just look around for at everyone who walks past to see if they look rather shady or anything like that.
Give me a perception check, and in the meantime, the rest of the party catches up to that intersection and sees you questioning people and looking around.
I'm actually gonna die.
Another natural 20? So out of 4 rolls, you've rolled 3 20s and a 19.
Yeah.
Should have just sat down and rolled the dice to figure out where he went.
All right, the other 3 of you have arrived.
All right, I say, Ginger, where did he go?
Not too sure. The women at the market said she had seen him off in this direction or around the Sweetwater. That's the tavern just over that way.
Yeah, we found that out. Have you asked people here?
No one around here has seen him, and no idea.
Who is around at this area, Neil? Anyone?
Yes. Yeah, there are people, but they're just walking through. No one's standing around. It's not like an interesting corner to hang out on. So it's just an intersection where people are passing.
All right, so no one loitering near the houses or anything like that?
No, but there are people coming in each direction or from each direction.
Okay, I'm going to run to somebody on the west and say, good man, I was looking for Bluebeard. Went running. You see?
yeah, strange fella. I don't know
strange.
about
Which way?
running, but he was walking all right.
Walking? Which way? How long
back,
ago?
back towards the old Champions Hall.
Very good. Thank you very much for your attention, sir. Brothers, sister, that's this way.
Okay.
Right. So you guys head down this street, down this way. Where do you head after that, though?
They said near the ruined Champions Hall, so I'm guessing we...
He said he was headed in that direction.
So I guess we're at that intersection.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys move to here.
Yeah.
And rinse and repeat.
All right, rinse and repeat. This time, no one standing around here, or no one walking through this area, seems to have seen this person or remembers this person. But you are entering the kind of sketchier part of town. This is where a lot of the low lives live, and you guys are definitely nobles. So maybe these people have seen something, and they're just not,
to Luther and say, Luther, you're married to the brewer's daughter, right? They live
Yes,
just over this way.
Clara. Yes.
Well, let's go ask them.
I don't think they would know anything about this Bluebeard.
What if he's been staying in town for a long time? The old woman I saw at the market, she seemed so casual about someone with such a strange blue beard. She said it was beautiful. Can you imagine? No.
Perhaps we should split up and ask the people. And we have horns, or you, sister, have a horn, and
I left it.
Oh. Okay. I still think we need to get back onto this trail.
I'll say, since you don't have a horn, you go with Ty, and you go left.
Okay.
Do you have your horn, Luther?
Yes, come with me. We'll go right.
Very well.
All right, so Luther and Stefan take a right towards the north side of town. Ginger and Tiberodite take a left towards the river.
Yeah.
Let's do Luther and Stefan. You guys take the road and come out up here, where the paved road meets the wall.
Are we passing anyone along the way?
There are a few people in this part of town, but not that many. There's like 3 people on the road.
All right, all 3 people, I'll go up to them, or Luther and I will go up to them, or unless Luther tells me to keep on going, and just approach them and say, Bluebeard.
They rebuff you pretty coldly. Bugger off, jackass!
I flash some silver at them and ask them if they want to reconsider.
Charisma?
I was going to flash my blade at them, but your way is probably a little bit better.
Throw me a charisma check there.
The roll.
You get the silver just kind of pushed back towards you again. And heads shake.
If they call me jackass, I pull out one of my short swords and I'll point at him and say, don't call me jackass, and just answer my question.
All right. At the threat of death and dismemberment, the person immediately stops and backs up and kind of puts their hands in the air and backs all the way against a wall. No, I didn't see nobody.
No? Good. Thank you for your time. If you just said that the first time instead of your smart comments, we wouldn't be in this position. Good day to you. And then, rinse and repeat.
Okay. The other people, having seen you draw a sword, just kind of shake their heads as you approach and just, I don't know anything. I don't know.
Well, brother, this way, or shall we head back?
I think we should head back towards the other 2.
Very good.
Okay. Now, other side, Ginger and Ty, you guys come down to this intersection. One path leads to the river, the other path leads to the brothel, the swamp wash, the brew house, and the old ruined Champions Hall.
I'm going to turn to Ty and say, let's go to the tavern. That's where people hang around.
I agree. Let us go.
Right. two of you make it to the Swamp Wash. It is a kind of a sleazy little bar that's partly sunken into the ground, or maybe they kind of excavated a little bit and built it partway down. I don't think you guys know anything about it in particular. You probably don't spend a lot of time over here on this part of town, but you would know it by reputation that this is just like a sleazy sort of place. The windows are greasy and dirty, like they haven't been washed in a couple of years, maybe. Do you go in or do you wait outside?
I'm gonna walk in through the door with my spear in hand, well, two hands, and just stare down straight at the bar as soon as I can.
Okay. You walk in. Iberidate walks in beside you. Let's actually pop back and deal with Luther and Stefan for a moment. Luther and Stefan, you go back down the other way. You end up at that same intersection as the others. You don't see them anywhere.
Well, I look down to the south and I see the river, so I say we should probably head up towards the brothel.
Wendy's.
Yes, a great idea, but perhaps now's not the time, brother. But yes,
We've lost someone.
Oh, Bradley's disconnected.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay. Anyway, Stefan and Luther are heading towards the brothel.
Yeah, I just kind of meant in that general direction, so I think we end up there at that intersection. If we see anybody, we ask if they've seen him.
If they've seen
Bluebeard.
Okay. We'll cycle cams during the break. So you get to that intersection. You ask if anyone's seen a Bluebeard. People kind of shake their heads or ignore you and kind of go all about their business.
Do I have thieves' cant? As a thief,
if you are a thief, then yes.
All right. As I'm just kind of casually strolling around, I'll just drop some thieves' cant. Say Bluebeard.
What sort of... So thieves' cant is like an underworld slang sort of term. So what sort of thieves' cant would you be slipping into the conversation?
I don't think I'd slip it into conversations. I'd just casually say it as I'm walking away from somebody, maybe.
Okay.
Just in case anybody recognizes it.
All right. No one seems to make any response or acknowledgement of it.
I'm going to hold up a couple of silvers and just raise my voice and say, a few silvers for anyone who knows anything about Bluebeard. Man with a blue beard.
All right, let's flip back to Autumn and Luther. You guys have opened the door to the Swamp Wash and stepped on in, armed, and at least Ginger has her weapon out.
Yeah. I'm going to look at the tavern, whoever the staff member is behind the bar, look a bit menacing and walk slowly towards them and just have a quick glance over the area.
Okay. See a fairly heavy-set woman in her middle-aged, standing behind the bar, giving you a look of surprise, and as she looks at you, the people sitting at the bar turn to look at you.
So
give me a perception check, both of you, Ginger and Luther. I'm sorry, Ginger and Ty. Cams are not gonna be fixed. Actually, Patrick, can you just cycle your cam?
Yeah.
I think that should fix it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so that was that a 28 and a 22? Nice. You guys indeed spot in this tavern with maybe 15, 20 people. There's a cluster against the back wall, and there's a man with a forked blue beard sitting there. He's clearly spotted you guys and has
I
made signs to the rest of his men.
I immediately look to Ginger and I say, "Shield wall."
I'm not carrying my shield. I only have my spear on me.
Okay, well, I lift my shield in and I draw my sword.
As I walk in, I'm staring towards the bartender. I take the double take at the Bluebeard, turn, and put my spear towards the Bluebeard.
Hey.
Party wipe.
Right. The people at the bar start to move back a little bit. What looks to be 8 people sitting around the table, including the blue-bearded guy, stand up. You see most of them have clubs at their sides, or saps.
100 gold for whoever brings me the man with the blue beard's head.
Okay. The people start shuffling out of the room. The people from around the table get up and kind of start staggering out throughout the bar. They clearly outnumber you, 8 to 2. And the man with the blue beard, standing behind his other men, says, "Well, look what the cat dragged in. I think you guys are in the wrong part of town."
How are these people armed, Neil?
Clubs, mostly.
Anyone with armor?
No armor.
Wrong part of town. Here's how things gonna go. I'm about to kill you. All of these men surrounding you, if they want to die, they can join in the fight. Or if they want to live, they can turn on you, and I will make them very wealthy men. And at that point, I say to the people in front of Bluebeard, "You gentlemen, move out of the way right now. I'm about to count to 5. And then if you're standing there, you're going to die too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I shield rush and I just run into the fight, Neil. Shield punch, slash.
All right.
During this threatened countdown, I'm going to sort of look at first a little bit afraid, and then build up my confidence as if this is the right way we're doing. This is it.
So back on the outside, Luther and Stefan, you see people shuffling out of the swamp wash as you're standing at an intersection trying to figure out what to do. And not like the normal shuffling on out, but they're coming out through a side door and looking back in and kind of talking to each other and pointing at the building.
I think this way.
Yes.
Right.
Run.
Why don't we take a break, and when we come back, we will roll initiative and watch some people die. See you guys on the other side of the break. Bye.